Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah with the Contoured Chemist, and today I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna share with you guys how to get started with Maskcara Beauty if you are brand new, maybe a little hesitant to try something new that seems so different. And so I'm gonna tell you only what you need to know. Bare minimum, how the process works, step by step, from getting a color match with me to application tips and tricks and all the things in between. So if you want to see how I do it, keep watching, and yeah, hit that subscribe button and like this video if you want to see more from me, and let's get to it. First things first, if you are interested in trying it, you're gonna have to take a selfie. And I know it's very scary for a lot of people to, share a no makeup selfie with a stranger. I get it. I've been there. So wear your eye makeup, put on some lipstick, whatever makes you comfortable. But all I need for you to do is stay indoors. A lot of people hear natural light picture and they go outside, but in fact, that does not help an artist see your natural tones in your face. So go to a window, take a few steps back, put your phone eye level, all right? No filters, no foundation, and smile and take that picture. And then you'll be ready to fill out my questionnaire. So some people might think it's a little excessive, but I'm type A. If you do not know that about me, I am so type A. And when I do a color match for somebody, I want to make sure they know exactly why I've made the recommendations I'm making for them. So I ask a lot of questions. So I will put the link below for my color match questionnaire. I want to know all about how you like to wear your makeup, all about your skin type, all about your color preferences. That way I know exactly what to recommend and how to recommend. I even recommend how to apply things, how to set it, what brushes are best for you, like detailed. I apologize if when you get my color match, you're overwhelmed with information, but I'm a scientist after all. So I think more information is better than not enough, right? So beware when you get my email. Okay, so take that selfie, you can attach it to the questionnaire, send it to me, and you'll get your color match within 24 hours. Okay, so first thing first is the colors I'm going to recommend for you. Okay, so I always start off with highlights. Highlights are the most important shades. They need to be matched specifically to your skin tone. They should go on like butter. They should not emphasize any texture you might already have. They should not look yellow or dark on the skin. They should blend in. And if they don't, you have the wrong color and you need another color match. Okay. So I always recommend two. Okay. Just expect to get two highlight shade recommendations. One will be your all over color, okay? This is going to give you coverage. It's gonna even out your skin tone. Sometimes it's a color picked to counteract dark circles, redness, hyperpigmentation, all the things that you might possibly have on your skin, okay? The second one is going to be an accent highlight, okay? This is what we like to call a brightener, all right? So this is the color that I like to brighten under my eyes, forehead, down the nose, chin, in that triangle of light to brighten your face and bring attention to your eyes. A lot of times this color also ties in your neck shade. Some people have lighter necks than their face and they need that brighter color in order to tie it all, make it look seamless so they don't look like they have a floating head, right? We want to match. So highlights. Okay, then we're going to go into contour. So contours are chosen and they are somewhat universal. Some people can use multiple shades, but an artist can recommend the best one based on your undertones, your hair color, whether your skin tone as well, and whether you like more cool or warm tones. Okay, third is, I guess I could show you guys. So my highlights, my contour. Third is a lip and cheek color. So these, for the most part, are completely universal, and I let my ladies pick. They tell me what color families they like, whether they like nudes, pinks, peaches, and then I show them their options and I recommend what is either my favorites of the grouping, the most popular, what I think would be most flattering on their skin tone, dependent on their skin color, because obviously some of our very lightest shades are not going to show up when you are very dark complected. But that doesn't mean you can't use them. You can always use them as lip colors because they are lip colors as well. So then we go into an illuminator. So depending on the type of glow you want, if you are brand new to using some kind of illuminator, or AKA highlight as the rest of the makeup world calls it, I usually recommend the creams. So the creams are going to give more of that natural lit from within kind of glow that is great to start with. If you like that blinding highlight, that wet looking highlight here, then you want to go with the powders. And so I'll recommend that based on your skin tone as well. So that is my first level. Then we get into setting bronzers, whether you like a bronzer, whether the powder or the cream bronzer would be better for you, depending on your preferences. And then you're gonna have one extra space in your hack stack. This is definitely the one I recommend if you're wanting bare minimum, what do I start with kind of a kit. So setting powder I recommend for everybody. Even if you don't like matte look, I recommend everyone set under their eyes, and it's very important to get a very finely milled powder. Otherwise, you'll be asking me why my under eyes look dry, and that's because the powder is way too heavy for your under eyes. So under eyes take a certain kind of powder, and I really prefer ours over most of the other ones I've tried. So you'll have one extra space. You can either pick a couple of eyeshadows or another lip and cheek, so that way you can mix, or something for your lips, something for your cheeks. You can have options, right? That's always fun. So when you get your beautiful tins in the mail, all of the colors come in labeled tins like this. You simply slide them out, drop them. They're magnetic, and a lot of people don't know this, so this is why I'd like to show you. You can use the tin lid and you put it along the side, and then you pop it out so you don't dig your fingers into your creams, okay? So don't throw these bad boys away. They are useful. Okay, also you're going to get, which I figured this probably isn't gonna show well on camera, you're gonna get the mascara face card, okay? So a lot of times what I hear from people and what is holding them back from trying mascara is that they're terrified they're not gonna be able to know what to do. So this face card comes, it shows you exactly where to put everything, describes it on the back, but if you're here, you obviously know I have a ton of tutorials on my channel, okay? And I'm gonna give you detailed instruction. I even will walk through it with you via FaceTime if you need to, but I'm gonna show you real quick. We're gonna go through all of it, so you have a nice little getting started video about how exactly to apply your highlight and contour when you're getting started, okay? And then you can always get more detailed with the in-depth videos as you go, right? Right. Another recommendation I make is brushes. A lot of people don't know what brush to pick. Okay, so if you really only want to start with one brush and you want to be as bare minimum as possible, I would choose the 30-second hack brush. Okay, Now, the reason for this is that depending on your preferences, I usually ask if you like a natural or full coverage or both. If you like full coverage, you'll apply your highlight with this end. If you like a natural coverage, you'll apply it with this end. This side can also be used for full coverage. Depends on how you use the brush. So I'm gonna show you with mine, if I was going to do a full coverage, I would press on and just slightly feather out, okay? Full coverage. If I want a natural coverage, you're gonna lightly tap into the color. Biggest mistake I see people is they're swiping into highlights. Highlights are very soft creams, and a little goes a long way with this makeup. It's very easy to get too much, and you can't get not enough, if that makes sense, because it's buildable. Thin layers, light layers, you can always build up in areas you want more coverage. So barely tap in, tap it on the skin, and then buff it in that area, and that's gonna give you light coverage, okay? If you want fuller coverage from this end, tap it, and then you just simply press it in. So on areas where I'm red, like right through here, I might just press it to get a more fuller coverage in that area, okay? So this is also really good for under eyes, as you saw, for getting up in that corner. And then this would also be your contour brush, because you simply press it underneath those cheekbones, and your blush brush, okay? This is a great first brush for everyone to try. Don't be intimidated by it. It's so, so good. So I normally always recommend 2 brushes, especially if you're gonna get into powder and bronzer. So if you like more full coverage, I would recommend these 2, okay? It's gonna give you the versatility because you could also use this brush in the same way as this end, okay? It's the blush brush, but you can buff it in or press it in. This side is amazing for my more mature skin girls and getting it up in here without moving everything around. It's money, okay? And then this side, whether you want Cayman bronzer to set your contour or you like Bella bronzer to push in that bronzer everywhere, having both these brushes really gives you the versatility to do it all. If you are a natural coverage girl, I usually would recommend these 2, okay? Especially if you are brand new to contouring, I feel like the detail hack makes it so easy because it's my favorite contouring brush of all time. Like, you just push that up there and it's golden. It gives you a lot more versatility because you could use this for nose contouring. You can use it as eyeshadow to use the lip and cheeks, or the contours as eyeshadows, contouring under your lip. I mean, it's a game changer, but it is amazing for a natural finish. So if you just simply tap it on the area and buff it in, just like so. I pretty much tell you, buff it in for natural coverage. This brush does not seem to press it on as well, in my opinion, for a fuller coverage. So if you want to have both, I would use this end for fuller coverage, this end for natural coverage, and then you still have your blush, you have your contour, and you got it all right there as well, okay? One of our newest brushes, the Buffy brush, is also really good, but if you're new to contouring, I wouldn't recommend only getting this brush. I would maybe recommend getting both of these. This is really good if you like a full coverage. If you want a natural coverage, stay away from this brush. I just don't feel like it buffs onto the skin well, but it presses the color on like a dream. And then this side is amazing for under eye. I have contoured with it, but it is not the easiest brush to contour with. I still think this one is. So those are my recommendations as far as brushes. Obviously, depending on your answers, I make those recommendations for you. And if you got a couple of eyeshadows in there, you could always throw in this brush. It really allows you to do any eye look with just this one brush. It's amazing. So I always recommend the Perfector. If you have more than one highlight in your compact, you need a Perfector. It's the only way to get it off when you get too much excess. It's the only way to push it into your skin and make it look like skin and not makeup. It keeps it from being cakey. You can add your illuminator with it. You can add, like I always put my cream illuminator on with it. You can do your blush with it. You can do your Bella bronzer, the cream bronzer. You can even prime your face with it. But it is really a game changer for blending out harsh lines, getting off excess, and I don't recommend trying the makeup without it. Okay. The other thing is our setting spray. I recommend this as a primer and a setting spray. So we have two different formulas without SPF and with SPF 30. If you don't like wearing SPF under your makeup, this is a great alternative to that. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna show you guys how to do makeup in real time, showing you just what's in my hack stack and how I would apply it, and we'll go over some details. Okay, first things first, prime your face with Stay Spray. Either spray it all over your face and let it dry, or spray your Perfector and press it on. Pressing it on is going to give you more of an even coverage than the spray, okay? And you can even press it on eyelids to prime the eyelids, under the eyes, and really concentrate on certain areas that might be trouble areas for you with your makeup staying. So if your makeup doesn't stay good right there, press it on extra in that area. Okay, first things is highlight number one. So your main highlight shade. Mine is Sandy. I am gonna go ahead and which brush should we use? I am gonna show you guys the most often used brush, which is the 32nd, the original. And I'm gonna show you how I would use this brush for a full coverage. Okay, tap, tap, tap. And I've already put it on this side a little bit, but I am going to press it on and feather it out. Can you tell how much coverage I have on this side compared to this? Okay, this makeup is meant to not necessarily match your tones exactly. It is meant to brighten your face, okay, and melt in. It is also not necessary to cover your entire face. So if you don't need extra coverage in your cheek area, around your forehead, pretty much anywhere you're gonna contour, you don't have to put the color there. Our highlights and our contours give coverage like a foundation. I just have redness in that area, which is why I added there. So you'll see sometimes I barely do my forehead because I know I'm going to contour the top portion. Okay, so that was my main highlight. And then I'm gonna look and I'm gonna see, do I need any more coverage anywhere? And to me, I need more coverage under my eyes. So I normally color correct with a third highlight, which might sound excessive, but really having an extra color in your compact takes no extra time from just tapping in to a different color. You're not having to open products, you're simply opening your compact. Okay, you can do it with one hand. So I normally wear a color correcting shade under my eyes and on my redness. And since for simplicity's sake, I'm not showing that, I'm just gonna have to layer this darker shade more than if I would have used that color correcting shade. So another thing to note with our highlights is that it's not like traditional makeup where you might add a lighter concealer first. You want to go the darkest highlight to the lightest, and you want to brighten very last. So, okay, say you were color matched with a color specifically to either disguise dark circles or redness. You would press that color on first, okay? Then you're going to use your perfector. You're going to make sure you don't have too much. Biggest mistake in this makeup is using too much. Then you're going to go on with your main highlight shade over it, okay? And if you're going to use a color over it, you want to make sure you're not using any brush that buffs, okay? You want to make sure you're using a brush you can press, okay? Because what happens? You're going to buff and you're going to move the color underneath it, so all that color correction is going to go away because you weren't being careful not to move the product under it. So you simply press on any color over it and you'll be golden, all right? So that's very important. Okay, then you're gonna go into your highlight. Now, the order of these can be very different. I used to contour first before highlight. It was easier for me to draw on my stripes and then add highlight. The order does not matter as long as you are using your lighter highlight after your darker highlight. Does that make sense? So you could contour now and then you could go to your lighter highlight, okay? Or you can like finish your whole face and then do your lighter highlight, or you can do it now. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it right now so you can see. I'm gonna use the same brush and I'm simply gonna tap in, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press it on all the way to the side of my eye. I'm gonna get a little bit more and I'm gonna go all the way down the side of my nose and then all the way back up. So what I'm doing here is doing a triangle, okay? And that is really brightening. Can you tell the difference between the two sides of my face? So this is Aura, and I'm just pressing it, like very small motions to press and blend at the same time. And I'm barely picked up anymore, okay? Because I am definitely looking more makeup-y by adding this much product, but I can remove excess so easily using my perfector. Okay, if you want to go up a notch, or if you need to tie in the tones of your neck, I recommend pressing some in the center of your forehead, down the center of your nose, okay? Maybe even Cupid's bow. I just got way too much. I had some on my fingers, so I'm just gonna press it right there. And the center of your chin. So a lot of people need it on their chin because their chin is a lot darker than their neck, and you need to brighten back up that chin. So then you can either flip it around. This side is really good for pressing in the highlight to blend it together, okay? So this is where I like to go in with the perfector, and I like to really press under my eye and remove excess. Can you tell? I'm still brightened, but it doesn't look like makeup. It looks like my skin again. And that is the magic of this damp perfector. Now, too damp means it's gonna pull off too much and you're gonna be left with little bald spots. You don't want that. What I've done is I ran it under water. I squeezed it out as much as I could. Then I put it in an absorbent towel, squeezed it again, and it's been sitting out, air drying as I'm talking and applying the rest of my face. So press it anywhere you put that double highlight and you'll be good to go. It'll blend together seamlessly. Don't think putting more than one color on your face is gonna make it look weird and you're not gonna match. I promise it does. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to contour using this brush, even though on the daily, this one's my fave. So no matter what, I try to go in at an angle. For my olive contour girls, this is the driest of all contours. You really got to pounce it in. Swiping, you might not think you're getting enough color on your brush because you're not. I like to pounce. Okay, then I'm gonna go to my cheekbones. Sorry, sometimes I just do this without thinking because I'm used to it. I am going to feel for my cheekbone. So with both of these brushes, you can kind of feel your cheekbones, okay? Right in there. It's usually right around the top of your ear, okay? Feel for that cheekbone, imaginary line, top of your ear, corner of your mouth, okay? Then you wanna stay out of this region. So I am literally going to press the color on in a line right there. Does that make sense? Right here, just right there, okay? And that's literally what I do, is I press it on. I'm gonna do it a little heavy so you can see it. I press it on right like that. Now, I am a blend as I go kind of person, as you can probably tell. So what you do to blend as you go is simply pick up the brush a little, bring it up, and press. Just keep pressing. Pressing blends these creams beautifully. Can you tell? It's already, the top line is blended, okay? And then you still have a little bit more of that defined line on the bottom, okay? If you wanna make it more defined, go back in. This was your highlight shade, and you can simply carve it out, okay? I try to stay out of the inside of the corner of my eye because it naturally will blend in slightly. One of the most important things is to keep it out of the smile lines, okay? You always want to blend up because if you blend down, you're defeating the purpose of contouring your cheekbones. You're gonna drag your face down. It's gonna shorten this little area right here, and you're wanting to exaggerate that. You're wanting to lift those cheekbones. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Feel. Start up at your hairline. You're gonna deposit the most amount of color there and simply press, okay? Then you can bring it up a little, keep pressing. It makes it more diffused looking at the top, more defined on the bottom. Now this brush is definitely more of a diffused look than this brush will give you more of a defined line on the bottom. Okay, so what's the rule to contouring? Think 3. That's probably opposite in the camera. 3, forehead, okay? Under the cheekbone, under the jaw. We're sculpting out the face. So, press on the color, blend up into the hairline so you don't get a white line where your hair starts. And then you can also pull down to blend in with the rest of your forehead, okay? The farther down on the forehead you go, the more your forehead will look shorter, okay? We're all just playing with shadows here. And the farther over you go, if you wanna go all the way to your temples, it's gonna give the illusion of a more narrow. Again, with the jawline, start back here where the most shadow would be, pull it under that jaw, and then blend down the neck. Okay, we're not gonna get into nose contour. This is getting started. We're not even gonna go there, but it is possible if you wanna know. There's other videos. So, lip and cheek. Dual purpose, lip and cheek color. This is Summer Love, my new obsession, using the same brush. You do not have to worry about the colors staying on. It's just the magic of these creams. It doesn't mix together and look muddy in the least. So I'm gonna take a little bit right there with this side of the brush. We're gonna look at the apples of the cheeks, go slightly out, okay? And then we're gonna go right on that apple and we're going to press because we just don't wanna move all those colors we already placed. Okay, and you can just simply follow that contour line up. You never wanna have a gap in between your lip and cheek and your contour, or then it's gonna look unnatural. Repeat. Okay, so the magic about this makeup is you can't make mistakes. You see how it doesn't look blended right there? Grab your brush. I got too close to my nose. Grab the side that has highlight, even if there's nothing left on it, you just move it back over, okay? You mess up your contour, blend it out, okay? Magic of creams, don't be scared of creams. They are so much better than liquid foundation because they don't set. Once that liquid is dried on your face, there's no moving it. It will start cracking, and I mean, the only way to fix this is to wash your face, redo it. Creams are buildable. You could add more, you can move it around, blend it away. It is magic. It creates a second skin and never makes you look cakey or dry. So good. Okay, moving on. So I like to go ahead and then go in with a bronzer, which is why I definitely recommend this brush as well. But if you're just gonna go with the basics, let's try to add it with the Perfector. So this is Bella. Bella is a cream. If you are a matte girl, I would recommend Cayman. That way you could set your contour areas and get that matte look. But if not, Bella is life. And I simply press it right over my lip and cheek, and I press it anywhere the sun's gonna hit. I like to do a C. It kind of changes the color of your lip and cheeks, makes it look a little warmer. Do it down your nose, chin. It's a little harder to add to your neck with that, so let's grab the brush. This is a game changer for those girls that have darker faces than their neck, because this will tie in their neck perfectly. It warms it up. Okay, so the next like 3 steps are personal preference, depending on the finish you like on your makeup. If you like matte, if you like dewy, or if you like a combo of matte and dewy, and if you don't know what that means, I'm gonna explain it to you. So I recommend everyone sets at least under their eyes. And like I just said, creams don't set. The only way to set it is to use a setting powder like our vanilla dust. That way, once it's set, it won't move. So my recommendation is to pat out your under eye if you are like me and you got some creases in that area, okay? You can still use your Perfector, and you can get some setting powder on your Perfector and you can press it under your eye and you'll be good to go. Now, if you like a matte look, I would go ahead and spray your Stay Spray all over to set your makeup. Then I'd go in with vanilla dust all over your highlighted areas, and then that Cayman bronzer all over your contour areas, and you will be fully matte. Then you can go in and add a little bit of glow with the illuminator. If you're like me, I like a mixture of both. So I always set under my under eyes, and then I go ahead and I spray. Okay, this spray is going to give you a dewy look, okay? So I'm gonna be matte under my eyes because it's not like this like goes all over your under eyes, but it takes away a little bit of that powdery finish so it doesn't ever look dry, okay? Then I'm gonna go ahead and add that glow, more glow to my face. You can even add this and then spray. If you are a dewy girl, it doesn't matter when you illuminate, when you spray, just always illuminate after your powder, because if you add it here and then you powder over it, it's gonna take away some of that glow. So, Perfector again, and this one I swipe in a good amount, okay? Because, you know, more is more. And then you simply press it and you get that touch of glow. This is what makes your skin look alive, okay? Now, granted, mascara in general, the creams make you look younger because they give your skin that glow, but Illuminator makes you look, lit from within is what we like to call it. And you might think you don't need it, but until you start using it, you won't realize where it was your whole life. It's gonna make you look so much younger. And there are different colors. This is Angel. You can blend it out if you think that's too much. There's different colors that look either more natural or more pigmented, okay? So that is almost the whole hack pack. If I would, or hack stack actually. If I was gonna go ahead and do some eyes, I could pop these babies on real quick. A little highlight shade, a little crease. This is the perfect compact to have to throw into your gym bag, and you're good to go. All right, guys, there you have it. That is all there is to Maskcara Beauty. It's not as difficult as it may seem. I realize starting a new routine might be a little intimidating, and yes, it's different, so there is a slight learning curve, but with me as your artist, I'm there every step of the way. I have lots of videos on troubleshooting. I message my girls every day on helping them figure out if they're having any kind of problems, which you don't get that with any other kind of makeup. You don't get that personal, hands-on assistance. So know that there's no issue that you could have that I haven't heard before that I can't help you with. And so yeah, that is it. It's all about our 3D foundation. If you're ready to try it, click that link below that says Color Match Questionnaire. I will recommend all of the best colors for your personal face, your preferences, the perfect compact for only what you want, nothing you don't. It's the great thing about these. When you're out, you just pop out one color and refill it. Always free shipping. It's a game changer, guys. So I'm excited for you guys to try it. You're absolutely gonna love it, I promise. Thank you all for watching. You guys are the best, and I love you all.